Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Gina, and today I thought I would make a little book. Now I don't have one to show you. I have not already made one yet, so fingers crossed it's going to turn out. But I started making these little pouches and I thought, okay, let's just put them together and make a little booklet. So my idea is to bind them by this little tab, and it's going to have a cover, and yeah, hopefully we'll end up with a cute little booklet. Now I've got 4 made already, so I'm going to make one more, and I'll make that with you. Each one of these started out as a single piece of paper like this. This measures 3 inches by 6.5 inches. The first thing I'm going to do is make this little tab, and this tab measures roughly 1/2 inch. And I say roughly because I didn't do such a great job of measuring. I just kind of eyed it. And as you can see, this one is much larger than this one. Look at the size difference. I'm going to try to pay a little more attention this time. So let's make our tab. And to do that, I'm just going to fold over one side. Now, here's something that we can do. You can score it if you have a scoring board, which I do, but this paper is really thin, and I'm afraid if I scored it, I would end up tearing the paper. So I'm going to do it this way. And I'm going to go ahead and mark it at 1 inch. Then I'll draw a line to connect them. And now what I'll do is I'll fold my end and just line the edge up with my drawn pencil line. That should give me a little piece that measures 1/2 inch. There we go, that's pretty good. I'm going to take a bone folder, burnish that a little bit, make it a nice crisp edge. All right, now I'm going to fold this over like this. Okay. That leaves a little bit of space in between because I want these to be able to open freely. And if you put it right up to where the other piece is, it might crinkle and it'll be in the way. So I want to make sure I leave a space. And a good way to do that is to just go ahead and fold this one over. Okay. And then you take this side and push it all the way in, like that. Once it's all the way, and you have it lined up, just go ahead and add your crease. So now when you open it, it leaves a space. Now I'm not quite ready to glue yet, because I want to add a little opening on the top. And it doesn't have to match. These, I have 3 that are kind of the same. And then I have this one, and I think I'll make another one like this. And here's how I do it. I open it up. This is going to be the front of my pocket, right? So I open it up, and I take my scissors, and I want to make sure I leave plenty of room on the end. As you can see, I did on this one. It seems more secure to me instead of going from the edge all the way to the other edge. And I guess it's roughly 1/2 inch in. I'm definitely not measuring that. I start this way, and then I go down. And just come back up and round off the top. Let's see. It's not perfect, but let's see. I might can clean that up just a little bit. Now see, I flipped it over. I have more on this side, so I'm going to add a little bit stronger of an angle. I'm going to go down a little bit and see if I can't get rid of that little hump. There we go. If you're all about perfection, which obviously I'm not, but you could make a little template lay your template down, draw it out with a pencil, and then you would know exactly where to cut. But I'm just winging it, so it's not going to be perfect, and I'm all right with that. But there are definitely ways to make it more precise if that's your thing. Now my little pocket is basically how it's going to be. I need to glue it, but before I glue, I'm going to go ahead and ink around the edges. Now, I'm going to get my glue. For this, I'm going to use the Art Glitter Glue. I love this very fine point. It enables me to have a lot more control over how much glue comes out, and I can be more precise in where I put it. So for this project, it's going to be perfect. First, I'll glue my tab. Next, I'm going to glue my pocket. So for your pocket, you just want to put glue on your edges. So if any of your folding is a bit askew, this is the time where you can fix it. So I'm going to lay it down, and you do want to leave a space. Okay. And there. This doesn't give you a whole lot of time to maneuver, but you do have just a little bit of time. Okay. And we can burnish our edge a little better now that it's glued. Okay, I can also finish inking. I can put them together. Now I know the one has the bigger tab, and I'm going to put that one in the very back and put the smaller ones in the front. Since these both have a V, I'm going to disperse them so that they're not right behind each other. Now, I just need to adhere them together. There are a variety of ways that you can put these together. You can punch holes in them and do your pamphlet stitch, or just put string around there and tie them together. Or you could sew them, which would be really awesome. But I think I'm going to just stick with the glue and do a no-sew method, and we'll see how that turns out. I want to make sure that they open. Once I have them to where they're going to open really well, I'm just going to try to hold them together and add some glue. This will have a cover over it, so I'm not too worried about the edges looking perfect. The main thing is I want to make sure they open. That's going to hold them together, which will make it easier when I put on the cover. All right, I found a scrap that I want to use for my cover. This is thicker than the paper I use to make my pockets. And while we're talking about paper, let me show you. This is what I used. It's Southworth by Neenah. It's a parchment paper, and it's called Copper, and it's 24 pound or 90 GM. I really like this because it looks like it's kind of coffee dyed already. It has that look, but I don't have to do anything, so yay. I think this is probably Prima marketing paper. It was one I got with my kit ages ago, but I liked how it looked. This is going to be the inside, so even though it's sideways as far as the writing goes, it's not going to matter because I'll probably end up covering the inside. I had to cut just a little bit off. I originally cut it 3.5 by 7, which added a ½ inch to each side. This was originally 3 by 6.5. I already kind of bent it over to make sure it was going to fit, and it does. Gives just a little bit extra to cover, but I realized that it gave too much extra in the width. So I cut it down, and I believe it's now 3.25 by 7. And that seemed to work pretty well. So I'm going to try to hold the two sides together. I want to make this more of a spine and See if I can't help it just a little bit. Okay, now I want the top to open, right? I've got this lip here and these open, but I need my cover to do that as well. This is a little more than a 1/2 inch, so I'm not sure if the scoring is going to work that well. Maybe I'll start by gluing in my pockets to the back so that they'll be still. I'll flip it over and I'll just put a little bit of glue on the edge. And just flip it over like that. Okay, I feel pretty good about that placement. The way I'm going to do the top fold is this. I'm going to use my little ruler and I'm going to look to see where the bend is, where the fold is. So this place right here, and then line it up. Okay, I think that's it. And now I'm just going to push it back, just to give it a crease. Let me see how I did. Okay, that's not bad. Let's brush it. All right, I think that's going to work. I think I can go ahead and glue the top piece on. I'm going to add some on the very back to make sure it really adheres well. Then to the top of this first folder. I don't think I'm going to go all the way to the edge. The glue will spread out a little bit when I smush it down. I had to pull this one back just a little bit, and it pulled a tiny little piece of the paper off. That's why it's green here, but that's okay. I'm just going to rub over that to make sure it's not still sticky. Okay, now that it's all glued together, I think I want to go ahead and cover this up, the front and back inside flap. So let's see what I have. I went back to this little book. I used papers from this in my last video, and I thought I would use some of these for the inside. And I thought that was just adorable. And ideally, I could use the bottom part for the back cover. However, I believe I misspoke in my last video because I thought this was 4 by 6, but it's not. It's 4 by 5.5. So I can't just cut it in half and have enough from one piece of paper to do both sides. So I need to find another piece of paper that I can use for the back cover. And I wanted to have something that still, you know, has the same type of color. So I was looking. Oh gosh, look, it's got the same writing and the same butterfly. It just doesn't have that. Maybe I'll just use the writing in the back. I want to make sure I get the image that I want to fit in this spot. So what I'm going to do is make a quick template. And to do that, I've got this little scrap piece. I'm going to line it up with the top cover. I'm going to take my pencil. Okay. And now I should have a template. Yep, perfect match. Now what I can do is I can take this template and then I can cover and make sure I get all of the image that I want. Edge, right at the edge. So now what I'll do is I'll take my pencil and outline it again. I drew a little darker so I would be able to see it. Looks like it's a tad big, but that's okay because I do have a little extra space, so I think I'll be okay. I'm actually going to use my glue stick to adhere it because since this is cut so closely to the right size, I have a feeling I'm going to need some time to adjust to get it in the perfect spot. And using glue stick gives me enough time to put it and get it in just the right place. Got that cut. Oh, that's so cute. I really like that. Now we just need to do the back. I'm gonna check again. Does look like it's pretty close. It covers, there's a little bit of overhang. I'd rather have a little extra than not enough. So I can take my other piece of paper. I kind of like that. So maybe I'll just do it on the edge right here. And we have a little overhang here, and I'll clip that off. The outside is a little plain. We're definitely going to need to do something on the front, because look how cute that is. Oh goodness. I've got the cover. I'm just going to cover the front flap so I can still use this template. I think it will cover the I love you and this butterfly. I'm gonna go for it. I can hold it up and use the light source that's in front of me to see if I can't line it up to where I can capture the words and the butterfly. It's going to be close though, just like that. All right, there it is. How about I add a little bit of lace trim on the end? Oh, is that not too cute? Oh gosh, I really like that. I've cut my little piece of lace trim, and this is what it looks like. I believe I got it at the Dollar Tree, maybe. I think I'm gonna try to use my art glitter glue instead of the Fabri-Tac, and let me tell you why. Maybe it's just me, but whenever I use this, sometimes it looks shiny where there's nothing glued over top of it, and I don't like that look. Like, I don't want anything shiny on here. So I don't know if any of you have had that problem or have noticed that before, but anyway, that's the reason why I'm going to try my art glitter glue. Ideally, you would want to use a fabric glue, and I may end up having to do that, but I thought I'd see if this would work first. All right, I just finished adding a little bit of ink around the edges, and I think this turned out so cute. I'm so excited because normally I have more of a plan and I didn't this time, so it was a little iffy. But I am very pleased with how it turned out. I hope you are too. Let's take a quick look. The art glitter glue worked really well on this lace, on this ribbon. It's gluing just fine. I snipped off a little bit on the edge, but it's still tattered a little bit, and I like that look. There's our front and the inside. That is so cute. And here are our little pockets. And here's the back. In the very back. I do hope you enjoyed this project and that you follow along with me and make one of your very own. If you are still here, thank you so much for sticking till the end. I really appreciate it. I would love the thumbs up, and I'd like to hear what you think about this project. That's going to do it for this one. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.